moving at such a rapid rate.
Yeah.
Businesses aren't able to keep up with it.
The risk of employees sharing data with AI tools.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Businesses need to be a bit quicker, putting their line in the sand. It's a real challenge.
Let's quickly talk about AI. What's your take? So I guess there's a couple of different risks. What's your kind of feeling in the financial sector? Specifically, is there anything going on? Is it just not going to happen?
The thing for me is it's moving at such a rapid rate now. Mm-hmm. It's just unbelievable how quick it's evolving. And where I think about it at the moment is that I believe you'll get to this inflection point where you'll have the tools and technology that are driven by AI, and then you'll have the attackers that are using all of the AI. And it's going to be AI against AI, effectively. I think you'll get to that point. It's a challenge because the attackers are so agile in the way that they can pick this technology up, adopt it, utilize it very, very effectively. And then when you look at the businesses, whether it's enterprise or small, medium businesses, they know it's there and they can probably use it, but they're not as resourced as these guys are, to use it and fight back against it. So I think it's a real challenge.
How much are you worried about in your kind of roles and position, or when you're advising other organizations about the risk of employees sharing data with AI tools? That's
a big problem. Yeah, that's a huge problem, because generally in businesses at the moment, there's no policies around it. There's this is our stance. Some technology-based businesses have policies and procedures in place, but in general, most businesses don't. Employees are using it. You can see them using it. And the minute they put any sensitive data that's out there on the internet. I think that's, from a data perspective, it's a huge risk at the moment. Businesses need to be a bit quicker in just putting their line in the sand as to what their stance is on using it, how they're going to use it, if they're not going to use it.
There's two approaches in there. Educate to say you can use it, but do it in a controlled manner.
Yeah.
But we know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
People just will do, they're just trying to do a good job, right, ultimately, and that's the reason why they're using it. And you don't want to stifle that innovation to use these technologies, right? Because they might benefit their job and make them be 10x better. Is there a certain element of credibility? Because Microsoft's just going to start throwing it into their tools soon, right? And again, like in a financial industry where it's heavily regulated, are they going to be okay with Microsoft? I guess if you go into the cloud, your data's there, right? So they've got access to it. So I guess you've made that decision, but
I think it's, as you say, when you go into the cloud, you made that decision. But I think it's the understanding of, what you're putting in there, who owns it, the data, not just blindly putting it into the cloud and think, well, we pay a subscription, so we own it. Well, you don't. Again, comes back to risk for me. Comes back to understanding the risk of all these tools and systems and platforms you're using, what data you're putting up into it, where that data sits, who owns that data. Again, it is moving at such a rapid pace. Businesses aren't able to keep up with it. We're talking here about machine learning data going into AI models, and on the flip side of that, you're talking about businesses trying to protect themselves from phishing and ransomware attacks, which are, old news in effect, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's a huge minefield, isn't it? Taking right back to the beginning, we're talking about speaking to boards in a language that they don't understand. We've just spent the last 20 minutes talking about stuff that boards would be like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. But again, I think your fundamentals are absolutely spot on, though, aren't they? Ultimately, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's AI, whether it's phishing attack, whether it's ransomware, whether you're buying the latest security technology. It ultimately comes back to, what is it you're protecting?
Yeah.
What have you got?
Yeah.
Do you really even need it?
Yeah.
And what are you going to go and invest in a sensible way to make sure that you reduce the risk as much as possible? Well, look, it's been great catching up with you. I think we could have gone on for another 4 hours.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks very much for joining us and having a chat. Right. Great advice. Thanks very much.